Time an arrest is made after a shots fired incident at the Monroe Housing Authority Foster Heights location. Police say when they saw Anthony Lowry, he ran into an apartment with a gun. His charges include illegal use of a weapon and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.